Hi everyone, I'm Li, a year 2 student majoring in accounting and finance, and today we are going to talk about some basic tips for writing. This is our content, so we will first talk about the importance of drafting, then move to the introduction, and then next to the body paragraph, and lastly, the conclusion. So now, let's start talking about the importance of drafting. Let me ask you a question first. When you are asked to write an essay, what will you do first? Some of you may be worried, and some of you may immediately rush to it, and some of you may ignore it and keep sleeping. So now, let's suppose you all are good students and will immediately start working on it. However, you may probably write the essay like days or days, and then I'll end up in a rubbish bin, and you may be driven crazy. So, to keep a tidy answer sheet, and to achieve a good grade and also have a great mood, we should plan before we rush to write.
Nice.
But that also brings you another question. How to plan an essay? To answer that question, we need to look at the essay structure. An essay usually contains 3 parts, which are the introduction, the body, and also the conclusion. Let's first look at the introduction. The introduction part usually contains only 3 to 5 sentences. You may talk about what is the topic, and also what are your opinions. The sentence that expresses your opinions is also called the thesis statement. It is the most important sentence in the introduction part, and usually just 1 sentence. Also, you can also talk about how you're going to discuss the topic, what will you cover, and how you're going to support your ideas. The overall structure of the introduction part is like an inverted triangle. You will start on the general information first, and then come to the narrow part, the thesis statement, and then to the narrowest part, the aspects. And here is an example. I'm having a crush on someone, and I'm going to write a love letter to confess my love. To start my love letter, in the first place, I need to draw the reader's attention. I may write 1 to 2 sentences about who am I, or some background information about how we met. And this part belongs to the general information part. And then, I will move to the thesis statement. This is the main idea of the whole essay. I will confess my love and ask whether he would like to be my boyfriend. And after I finish my thesis statement, I will move to the aspects part. In this part, I will tell the reader what I will include in my following essay. In this case, I may write something like our story, my strengths, for example, I'm pretty or I'm sweet, and also our future visions. And here is another example. Where to live, city or rural. So for the general information part, I may write, as a person reaches adulthood, he or she needs to decide on where he or she would prefer to live. So in this part, I tell my readers that my topic is where to live. And then I will move to the thesis statement. Well, there are advantages to those living in city and country, I believe that for economic reasons, life in city is more beneficial. So, in this part, I use the sentence I believe to tell my reader that I will choose to live in the city for economic reasons, and that's my opinion. And lastly, in the assets part, I write, this is because city offers more employment opportunities, as well as a more affordable cost of living. So in this part, I tell my readers that I may write the employment opportunities and also the cost of living in the following essay. And these two are also my reasons for I choose to live in city. And that's all for the introduction part, and welcome my partners.
A few moments later.
Thanks for Vivi's presentation. I'm Missy, a Year 2 student, major in tourism and events management. Now I will talk about how to write a convincing and structured 4D paragraph. 4D paragraphs are the paragraphs that make up the majority of your paper, just like the structure of the paper overall. Each 4D paragraph has an intro, body, and conclusion. In order to write a perfect body paragraph, we can follow the PIE model. We can just compare this model with hamburger, just like the picture left. A strong paragraph should relate to the thesis, focus on one topic for unity, provide evidence and explanation to convince the reader, and flow logically from one sentence to the next to achieve coherence. Key means point. This is the topic sentence of your paragraph. Each topic sentence should relate to your thesis statement. Think about these questions when determining your point. What's the point of the paragraph? What claim is being made? I means illustration. This is the framing of your paragraph where you put supporting evidence. This can be a quote, paraphrase, summary, or combination. Your illustrations should support and help develop your point. In essence, they help you prove the claim you have made. Think about the following questions when determining on supporting examples. What specific data, experience, or other factual material support the topic sentence? E means explanation. This is an analysis, comparison, elaboration, and evaluation of the topic sentence and supporting examples, connecting the illustration with the point and the statement of your paper. This is the most important part of the paragraph because it's where you develop your ideas. Think about the following questions as you develop your explanation. What does the provided information mean, or why does it matter? Most of a paragraph is made up of evidence that supports the point of the paragraph end, and ultimately the entire essay. The type of evidence that you put in your paragraph depends on the purpose of the essay. You should describe, compare, argue, analyze, or tell story. These are the most commonly used methods to support your essay. First is personal experience. Second is analogy. Third one is facts and statistics. And fourth is reason. The last one is expert opinion. This is an example I find from the website. We can see the first sentence in red circle. It's a topic sentence. As topic sentence refers to the thesis and introduce the topic of this paragraph. From it, we know the whole paragraph will explain why we need to get feedback on our writing and how another reader can help us clear up parts of our paper that do not make sense. The second sentence with a blue underline further describes why another reader can do such a job, and those green words of the author's personal experience. He once wrote an essay with the word "grace" without much content, while his classmates did not know what the word meant, and this feedback helped author clarify his essay and avoid confusing other readers. Then those red words, surrounded by purple circle, use expert opinion. The opinion emphasizes the significance of feedback, and experts make it more convincing. Lastly is a sentence with an orange outline. It stresses the importance once again to cater to the topic sentence, which achieves the effect of echoing from end to end. From this example, I believe all of you have a more thorough understanding of how to write a good, convinced, and structured paragraph. Lastly, there are two tips that can make your essay more attractive. The first one is make sure the close relation in the whole essay. You can make your content continuous, like when you write those supporting evidence, you should extend your topic sentences. And you are advised to use sentences connectors like on the contrary, furthermore, to connect each part. Next is using colorful vocabulary. This is somewhat difficult for you because this is based on the grasp of a huge vocabulary. You use several words with the same meaning to replace each other. This makes your essay not plain. Take those sentence connectors as example. You can use backwards and obliquely to substitute on the contrary, and use not to mention and additionally to replace furthermore.
Later.
Hi, this is Li Fei from PolyU. I'm a student from Year 2, and I major in accountancy. I'm going to introduce the conclusion part in the English writing. So usually conclusion part is the last paragraph of an essay. At the end of the passage, we need to conclude the whole essay. Typically, there is a main topic and 2 or 3 subtopics. Each subtopic leads a body paragraph. So in the conclusion part, firstly, we need to summarize the subtopics in a few sentences or phrases. And when summarizing, here are some common mistakes. The first mistake is too long. Some people make their conclusion part as long as body paragraph. You should make sure that you can use simple and highly generalized words to conclude your subtopics. Do not try to elaborate or interpret anything else. The conclusion needs to be short and clear. Properly, the last paragraph should be shorter than the introduction. And the second mistake is new things. When students are writing an essay relevant to a controversial topic, they always fond of adding other opinions in the last paragraph. However, this behavior will confuse your readers and make your standpoint vague. For instance, if you are writing an article to show your support of a policy, do not add any critical ideas in your last paragraph. At the same time, if you evaluate 3 supportive points in your body passage, you should not add new point in your conclusion, because this new idea will be considered lacking of supporting evidence. All in all, there should not be new subtopics or opinions appear in the conclusion. You can only write down what you have evaluated in a body paragraph. And the last mistake is copy your central sentences in a body paragraph. So usually, we need to change a few words to restate the topic, but not simply copy the conclusion sentences in your body paragraph. Even though they express the same meaning, you should try your best to reduce repetitions in your article. Just try to change the syntax or use alternative words. Repetition will let your professor question your vocabulary quantity and leave a negative impression. So this is all for the first part. And for second part, after summarizing, sometimes in some specific topic, we need to do some callings or sublimation in the second part of the conclusion. Just 1 or 2 sentences is enough. Like if you are writing some topics relevant to some social issues, you can appeal to people to act for a change. So typically, it should be a declarative sentence or an imperative sentence. Be careful that in your calling sentences, new things should not be mentioned. For example, like you mention an action which people are encouraged to adopt, and this action has not appeared in a previous passage. As a cautious writer, when you state a new suggestion, you need to prove the internal relationship between the advice and the issue. Stating without evidence does not qualify the academic writing. If you are not 100% certain, you can consider to ignore this part.